Hi, friends. Welcome to Enlightened World Network. Dr. Ruth Anderson and Teri Angel here for a meditation a day. Today, we are doing a silent meditation, which means we invite you to meditate right along with us. Teri and I are going to go behind scenes and we're going to meditate together. She's going to play some beautiful music for you. And then we'll come back on in 20 or 25 minutes and share with you the messages that Spirit gave us during that meditation. Teri Angel, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Ruth, and good morning, everyone. Enjoy the music.
All right, friends, we'll be back in about 20, 25 minutes. Thank you. There we go. Teri, can you hear me?
I hear you. Do you hear me?
No, cannot hear you. Let's try that again. Now I can hear you.
Okay, good. Welcome back, everyone.
Yeah. Teri, interesting meditation today. Not at all what either of us saw coming. It was all about time today. I mean, they started with us out in the black atmosphere and a day going by. You know how they do that in the movies where they show a day going by showing the stars. And that's what it was. And it was all about time passing. And then they really worked on the whole concept of time. And we heard phrases like, it's time for me to do blah, blah. It's time for me to be blah, blah. It's time for her to be blah, blah. Teri, do you want to share a little bit about the judgments and expectations that we put on others based on time?
We do. We expect certain things. Now this much time has gone, maybe your child has grown and it's time for them to get out of the house and be productive, a productive part of society. There's so much that we put on each other and ourselves. Am I wasting time? Am I not doing what I'm here to do? And how am I using my time? And I love the whole idea of what if we could just not have that clock, and would no clock equal no time? Well, there would still be the passing of, the days, because, day turns into night and night turns into day, but we wouldn't be focused on, okay, it's 12 o'clock, I got to eat now. It's 10 o'clock at night, I got to go to bed. We wouldn't be so focused on the have-tos. And I think that's where we got to, Ruth, with that idea, was we have so many have-tos, and time becomes our taskmaster, and holding that out. Okay, you've got to do this now. So it's the expectations, not just of others, but of ourselves as well. That's what happens with time.
And they showed us how the resistance of when time doesn't go the way you thought it should, how the anxiousness and the anxiety and the anger comes in. For example, the phrase came to me, I thought I knew what I was going to be doing for 2 months, and I was wrong.
Right. Yeah.
So you can either resist it and be angry and be fighting it all the time, or just go, you know what? I just have to, I just have to let go. I'm just going to observe and be on the outside looking in, and try to not get so caught up in the 3D-ness all the time.
Yeah. Go with the flow and go with what your body and your gut is telling you to do. Our body's going to tell us when we're hungry. We don't need a clock to say it's lunchtime or it's time for breakfast. Just listen more to the signs that the body's giving and your intuition. Listen to your gut. And that's when things will start getting into flow, instead of paying attention to the hands on the clock. And I love the image that you saw, Ruth, with a person as the clock hands. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, they showed me a clock, and the funny thing about it was there was a person in the middle of it. And so instead of the arms going around, the person was going around, and just showing how trapped we are in this whole concept of time. Teri, what was your observation about the hour hand, I think it was?
Yeah, because the minute hand moves, the hour hand stays pretty much stationary until the minute hand does a whole revolution, and then it starts moving. So if we compare that to our bodies, that there's this body on the clock, the top part of us, of our chakras, our energy centers, it's all about empowerment and feeling from the heart and communicating and connection with the divine. So that's the movement that's always going. And then that bottom part, our root chakra, stays grounded. It stays pretty much stationary while everything else is making the revolution. So it's just an interesting thing. If we forget that there's time and we pay attention, then the root is going to stay stable and everything else is going to have this flow to it, this movement, where we know that we have a purpose, we have a reason for that movement. So and not because somebody tells us you have to move now. It's just going to happen so naturally. And that's what I see as we go around that clock. It's like, okay, it's time to move because I feel that it's time to move, not because an hour has gone by and I've been sitting here. So it's listening to our bodies, like I said, and listening to our gut intuition.
Divine Mother, at one point I went to Divine Mother and she was wearing clocks around her neck. And it was like, okay, pay attention to the time. I mean, we're talking about time here today. Don't get off track. We're just talking about time. At the end, gave me one of those clocks and put it around my neck. And I looked at it and it had no arms on it. So it was a reminder of, nope, just let all of that just go. But Teri, there was one particular thing that reminded you of what you had done last night. Divine Mother reminded us to come at life a place of love rather than duty and, I have to, the have to's, come at life from a place of love and joy. And Teri, what was the t-shirt you made last night?
It was one of the sayings from the tiny book of angel messages, which is just little blurbs from the daily message that the angels give every day. This one is from last year. And yesterday in our morning meeting group that we do online every day, somebody picked this particular message, not knowing what the message was. They just told me to go to this page and this message. And when I read the message, it was like everybody, there were about 20 people online. Everybody was saying, I need that. I need that message every day to look at. And that's why I made the t-shirt. But the message is, we encourage you to live every moment with love in your heart and joy in your life. And what if we did that, Ruth? What if we did that every moment? We have times, we have our moments of inspiration where we feel so much love and we do things that bring us so much joy. But what if every moment we strove to just really be in that energy? What a difference it would make. Yeah, those angels, they're pretty profound sometimes. Yeah. And I love that it coincided with the exact words that Divine Mother gave you in the meditation.
Yeah. So just looking at time and all of the to-dos in a completely different way today. Actually, at one point they showed me a desk with all of these things on the desk, and everything on the desk was a to-do. The have to do, the should do, and they just wiped it completely off and into the trash can. And I was like, okay, maybe I don't have to do all those things.
Right. Yeah, I was just looking as if there was anything else. Yeah, we were talking about like my own journey when I started out on the Peace on Earth tour, and there was no return date. And wouldn't it be awesome to just live life like there's no having to, there's no have to, I can only go this amount of time, then I have to return, or I have to get back to whatever the task is that's needed. And you said it sounded like a vacation in Hawaii with no time restrictions, just to be in that energy. And we can do that. We can do that, just letting go of whatever it is that we feel like is a have to. And it's just ask, is it really a have to? Am I locking myself away from my joy and from love, because I feel like I have to do certain things. And yeah, there are some have-tos in life. You know, we have to bathe our bodies, we have to get dressed. There's certain things that we do have to do, but there's certain things that we put those restrictions there, our expectations. So I think it's time to just really examine that and see where that might take us. And could it be freedom?
Enjoy.
Joy and love. Yeah. I loved this meditation today, Ruth. I just loved the whole energy of it and everything that came forth. It was very creative.
Yeah. Thank you, Teri, for joining me in this. Friends, thank you for being here. From Enlightened World Network, take good care. God bless. We'll see you soon.